Alright, here's a quick update. Since I had the first start, I thought I'd go back and kind of point out a couple things that I've been doing and what's going on. Actually, I was really sick yesterday, and today I've not a lot of energy, so taking a video is an easy way to be in the garage. Right now I've got the battery on the trickle charger, and what I discovered after the first start was a couple things. The first thing was that I had a couple screws in my oil pan that weren't tightened down all the way, so I tightened those. That is one thing that was leaking. The other thing that was leaking was this hose connector to the corrugated metal piece. I hate this metal line. I can't seem to get a good seal on it. The stuff that came from Factory 5 doesn't seem to want to get on there. So I cut off some of the old hose, do a great job with it, and it's just not sealing all that well. So I had a leak from there. I moved the the hose clamp, and hopefully that will run a little bit better, but I'll probably change that again. There's a lot of things I keep changing. So yeah, so the battery's off, but I did have, there's a first start that I threw up, and then actually I had another start that went really well. I turned it on and it just kept on going until I came and turned it off. And I think that I got the timing nailed. Not nailed, but like good enough to do some fine adjustments. But what I think might have been the issue is, I don't know if you can see that, I'm JB welding it, but that was totally loose. And then not only that, but this thing is corroded as well, and that's the connector. So now that's a reference for the PCV valve. It isn't actually straight up vacuum. It connects up to the valve, into the valve cover. If you can see it down there. Yeah, and there's just a little plastic pipe that pops up there. So I'm JB welding that. I really should just replace the throttle body itself to a 75 mil or at least 70 mil. I think it's like 58 right at the moment, which is restrictive because everything else is bigger. This plate is bigger, and then obviously the whole intake manifold is bigger. So yeah, that is kind of what's going on the top end there. Let's see, coming around, the radiator was mounted. I probably went over that in a prior video. I'm going to have to replace or move this oxygen sensor, so that's on the list of things to do, because it's touching. I think I pointed that out in the prior video. I have finally got the clutch pedal to where I want it, and I started to notice that, oh yeah, you can see it. It is contacting. You can see that's the point of contact of the frame. So everyone said that I was going to have to notch it. I said no. And then I got the pedal to where it felt good, and I'm going to have to notch it. I replaced the master cylinder with a 1-inch bore as opposed to I don't remember what it was, 1.18 or whatever it was. So it makes the pedal a little bit lighter, but it lengthens the throw a bit. That is fine. Anything to lighten that throw is good. Again, like the idea was having kind of light controls. The one thing I was okay with having heavy stuff was the brakes, but I definitely don't want a super hard clutch because that makes life kind of miserable. So, yeah, I did have to cut the push rod there once again. So all of these have actually been pushed or cut, just so that I could get the pedal to the height that I wanted. So that's kind of what's going on there. And here's just like a random question. I don't know if anyone knows. I have a feeling, let's see if we can actually see down there, but there is a kind of like a screw hole. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that in focus. There's a screw hole right on, oh, I'm so close, right on the top of the engine block. It's hiding behind that tan wire there. And yeah, it's not on the intake manifold. Sorry for this terrible video quality. Yeah, you can probably see it down there. It's not super in focus. And it's threaded, so I think that was a mount for some of the smog stuff, but I don't know if it actually goes, I can't remember if it goes actually into the block and whether that's something I'm going to need to seal up. So that's just a quick question for anyone who happens to be watching. Feel free to comment on that in the comments below. Let's see what else. I still need to get my dipstick in here. Coming around to the front, as you can still see that there's nothing going on. I don't have any of the gauges or anything put up. My father-in-law is going to be doing the dash, and I think he's going to be doing some kind of wood veneer on there. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern as far as doing more gauges. So I might start moving towards a couple other things that I can do that aren't electric focused. Maybe starting to get the interior together a little bit. I don't know about that. But maybe the trunk. I still need to actually rough in the suspension a little bit better so that I can prep for the first go-kart of this thing. One of the things I haven't quite gotten down is that this upper A-arm needs to be, something needs to be done with it. I need to check the book to see what I have to do for that. What else? Other things is I'm still not totally happy with how these are. Once I put the wheels on, I'll check that again. And also coming back here, this is still sitting like this. I never actually got around to that, and it's getting close to the point where I'm gonna have to deal with that. One possibility would be to kind of move this. I kind of screwed myself a little bit by putting the trunk in, because now I don't have as much flexibility, but I probably could get a much shorter hose for this. The suspension's at full droop right at the moment, but yeah. Anyway, so that's one of the things I've to look forward to. That should be fun. And then all the electrical work, and then my next actual real project is to do the Breeze thermostat. So yes, should I have done this prior to trying the first start? Maybe, but the car was never going to get up to temperature based on this. This has to be done before the first go-kart, because that's when I'll actually turn it on. I actually didn't want to run the car for that long in the garage anyways, because this is an attached garage, and yeah, that super sucks. So here's just a kind of random thing. These are on upside down, or on the wrong side. This little tab goes to the other one. Doesn't really matter. Those have to come to put the body on. You have to take them off, so I didn't even put the gasket in there. But I just realized that as I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that doesn't look quite right. But yeah, so the overall next step in this is to get it on its wheels and enough stuff kind of put together that I could drive it around. Yeah, that's basically what the next goal is. That sounds a little bit overly simplistic, but yeah, and while I'm waiting for the dash, I might start doing some interior bits, like the trunk carpeting and maybe sealing up. There's a whole bunch of gaps on the interior. This video is going a little bit long, so I won't get crazy, but you can actually see where that tube goes out. Like, there's a big old gap. So I gotta maybe do some research, and then, yeah, there's that whole mess. About sealing that up. This back wall, I think, needs to be riveted down, and something didn't line up quite right, so I've got a nice gap there. So I'm assuming I have to rivet all that down. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if this is an interesting video. This is just some of the stuff that I'm thinking about that needs to happen. Oh, I might end up replacing this. I've got the pulley, the replacement pulley, but I think it's a different size, which would mean a different belt. It's a little bit wobbly, but actually when it was running, it didn't seem like it was making that much of a difference. So I'm not sure if that's critical. Certain things that I'm trying to do that would be critical for running of the car, and other things that I might just wait until it's running, then as you know time goes by, go back. Like one of those things would be like the throttle body itself. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that should be done first. I don't know. There's like a million different decisions to be made with this project. So this video went a little bit long, but that gives you kind of a sense of where I'm at. Feel free to like and subscribe to this channel if you like what you see, and I'll hopefully be bringing videos a little bit more regularly. Okay, later for now. Bye.